Friends, gather round because we're diving into episode 11 of Negotiating Anything, Anyplace. And let me tell you, it's like getting a secret map to navigate the maze of bureaucracy. Titled Moving Up, this chapter is all about being the squeaky wheel that actually gets the grease. Not by shouting, but by knowing exactly where and how to squeak. It's got me thinking about every time I've been stuck in a frustrating loop with a faceless organization. And now I'm armed with a game plan. Let's break it down like we're chatting over a pizza, sharing stories, and figuring out how to tackle the system together. Why squeaking smart matters. Ever felt like you're yelling into the void when dealing with a big company or institution? Maybe it's a hotel that lost your reservation or a store with a no-return sign staring you down. Chapter 11 grabs you by the shoulders and says, "You don't have to take it lying down." The author lays out a step-by-step guide to climb the ladder of authority until you get what you need. It's not about being a jerk. It's about being strategic, polite, and persistent. By the end of this chapter, I was ready to march into any office and charm my way to a solution. The big picture, climbing the hierarchy. The main idea here is simple but powerful. If you're not getting anywhere with the person in front of you, move up. Every organization is a pyramid, and the higher you go, the more likely you'll find someone who can bend the rules or see the bigger picture. The author gives us a 4-step starter plan that's like a negotiation cheat code. First, call the organization, get a name, and make a human connection. Explain your problem in a way that tugs at their heartstrings. Second, send a polite follow-up letter to keep the pressure on. Third, call again just before the deadline to check in. If that doesn't work, step 4 is to show up in person, all smiles and courtesy, but firm about the injustice you're facing. Still no luck? Keep climbing. Find the next rung on the ladder. What I love is how the author stresses authority. Don't waste your breath on someone who can't make decisions. Ask straight up, can you fix this? If they can't, move on. It's like dating. You don't keep chasing someone, you find someone who's on your level. The chapter also points out why higher-ups are more likely to help. They've got the clout, they see the big picture, and they're paid to take risks. It's a reminder that persistence isn't just stubbornness, it's strategy. Key moments and themes, real-life wins. The chapter shines with 5 vivid examples that feel like mini-movies, each showing how to move up in different scenarios. Let's start with the hotel nightmare. You roll in late, exhausted, only to hear, "Sorry, we're overbooked," despite your guaranteed reservation. The author walks us through challenging the clerk's robotic response, suggesting options like a suite or a meeting room with a cot, and escalating to the night manager. By morning, you're negotiating with the general manager and walking away with a fair bill. I was cheering, thinking of every time I've accepted a no too quickly. Then there's the personal story where the author himself faces a hotel mix-up in Manhattan, with a guy threatening to jump from the 11th floor, causing chaos. When the clerk says there's no room, he quips, "The guy's checking out," and snags the room. It's bold, a little cheeky, and shows how thinking on your feet can turn a dead end into a win. Another gem is the Mexico City hotel tale. Snowed-in guests overstay, but the author lights a cigar, leans on the counter, and asks, what if the president of Mexico showed up? Boom. He gets a room. I'm stealing that line next time I'm stuck. The dress shop example hit close to home. Your daughter's sick, can't go to prom, and the store won't take back her unworn gown. You wait out the owner, prove the dress was untouched, and get the refund. It's a lesson in patience and standing firm against rigid policies. The IRS scenario is pure gold. You're audited, but instead of panicking, you stay cool, challenge subjective calls like charitable donations, and appeal up the chain if needed. It's empowering to know you can fight back, even against the taxman. Finally, there's the hardware store where you need $84 worth of tools, but they won't take your check. You push past the clerk to the owner who's sweating at the thought of restocking your cart, and you walk away with your stuff. Each story screams the same theme. Don't settle for the first no. Policies aren't ironclad. There's always an exception if you find the right person. Emotions and conflicts, the frustration and triumph. This chapter nails the feel of battling bureaucracy. There's that sinking feeling when the hotel clerk shrugs and says no rooms, or when the IRS letter lands in your mailbox like a punch to the gut. The author captures the exhaustion of being brushed off, the irritation of dealing with a robot clerk who's just parroting rules. I felt my blood pressure rise just reading about the dress shop's no return sign. Haven't we all been there, staring down a policy that feels so unfair? But there's also this spark of hope and defiance. Every time the author escalates, politely but firmly to the next level, you feel a rush of heck yeah. It's like watching an underdog movie where the hero outsmarts the system. The conflict isn't just you versus the organization. It's you versus your own temptation to give up. The chapter pushes you to keep going, to channel that frustration into action. And when you win, like getting that hotel suite or refund, it's not just relief, it's triumph. You, the squeaky wheel. There's no cast of characters here, but you, the reader, are the star in training. At the start, you might be the person who slinks away when a clerk says, "Sorry, policy." By the end, you're a negotiation ninja, ready to ask for the manager with a smile and a plan. The author's coaching you to grow a backbone, not by being rude, but by being smart. You learn to humanize yourself, ask the right questions, and never settle for someone who can't help. I'm already picturing myself sizing up the next customer service rep thinking, can you solve this or do I need to move up? My take why this chapter rocks. I'll be real. This chapter is a game changer. It's like someone handed me a flashlight for navigating the dark corners of customer service hell. The stories are so relatable, hotels, taxes, shopping mishaps, that I was nodding along thinking, been there. The author's tone is like a wise friend who's seen it all, mixing humor, that cigar moment, with practical advice. My favorite part? The reminder that higher-ups aren't your enemies. They're often more flexible because they get it. My only wish is for a bit more on what to do when you hit a truly stubborn wall. But honestly, the steps here are gold. This chapter made me rethink every time I've let a no stop me. I'm inspired to be bolder, not loud or pushy, but confident and persistent. It's not just about winning. It's about knowing you can win if you keep climbing. I'm already eyeing my next chance to test these moves. Maybe that airline that lost my bag last month owes me a chat. Takeaways: squeak smart, win big. So what's the big lesson? Don't take no from someone who can't say yes. Call, connect, follow up, show up, and if that doesn't work, climb higher. It's about staying human, staying calm, and knowing that every rule has an exception if you find the right person. Whether it's a hotel, the IRS, or a stubborn store clerk, you've got the power to push for what's fair. This chapter's got me pumped to be my own advocate, and I bet it'll do the same for you. What about you all? Ever had to move up to get justice, like arguing with a store or a school? Spill your stories in the comments, because I'm dying to hear how you squeaked your way to victory.
Ever wished a book could change your life? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Bookpecker, where we peck into the pages of the most insightful books on financial freedom, personal growth, and beyond. I break down must-reads, share real